Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of a pouring rain. W.C. Handy, she looked down over me and got a first class ticket. The blue the boy can be when I'm walking in Memphis. I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill when I'm walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue. Followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Now security did not see him, they just gathered round his tomb. And there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. Now I'm walking in Memphis. I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? They got catfish on the table. They got gospel in the air. And Reverend Green, be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. But boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Euro plays piano every Friday at Hollywood. They brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number, and I sing with all my might. She said, "Are you a Christian child?" And I said, "Ma'am, I am tonight." When I'm walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of a pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues. In the middle of a pouring rain. Boy, you got a prayer in Memphis when you're walking in Memphis. Now live from the Brooklyn Cafe, it's the Brooklyn Cafe Show, ladies and gentlemen.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
There you go. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe show on a drying up, what is it, Thursday?
Drying up Thursday.
Drying up Thursday.
It's a dry Thursday.
The Odd Couple's on the set. Everybody wants to know, what is the Odd Couple? You remember The Odd Couple?
I do.
The Odd Couple was the #1 show in the early 70s that I watched. And I watched the reruns and Klugman and Felix.
Who do you think you are?
I'm definitely Mr. Klugman,
Oscar?
Oscar.
For sure. And who
You're-
am I?
and you're-
100%.
You're Felix. You're Felix because you're a neat freak.
Always neat and cleaning.
You know, it's really scary when you have a meeting. We had a meeting this morning about a new show that's coming out,
Senior strategies.
which is amazing. And the two hosts that are playing roles, I'm looking at me, and you're looking at you.
Yeah.
And it's like so I had to get the hat,
Yeah.
courtesy of the Wisdom Cafe, Arthur. And I'm sitting and I'm saying, is this what we sound like?
Back and forth. I know. And her details and her notes and everything's detailed and signing it and the contracts. And
That's your side.
And
My
I-
side is, let's go.
I know. And you got up and you said, what do you want to do? I'm like, we just got to go. But it's time. So their launch date is May 2nd. I'm really excited. 5 o'clock p.m. on Tuesdays right here at AMP TV Studios. It's all about senior strategies for aging, Alzheimer's, dementia, any type of caregiver, but they're actually opening up the gamut, which I love, to our demographic, my demographic, to kids. And there's a new support group that are working with aging parents with adult children, because it's not just the spouses that are the caregivers, it becomes the children, which become us. And there's a support group for that. Who even knew that we're not in this
There's a
alone?
support group for everything.
But who knew? So I can actually, have other people to talk to instead of just people texting me, I can't find your dad. Okay. What am I going to do with that? I
I'm gonna get a
now I got to
drone.
find my dad.
I'm going to get a drone and send it out to over your father's house. It's going to circle.
It's scary when
Like
the
the Poseidon
IT
Adventure.
when his IT person texts me, I can't find your dad. Then be like Gio not being able to find you.
Well,
Yeah.
that'd be okay too. No problem with that.
What's today? Thursday already?
Yeah.
We got a full house. We've got new producers. They're working really hard, and I love. They come in, they're excited. Josh's got a new hat on. Arthur had a great show yesterday.
Remember your thinking cap? They don't even remember that. Your
Yes,
thinking
put your
cap back
thinking
in the
cap
day,
on.
we used to put your thinking cap on. So he has a bunch of hats. I'm going to be wearing them, and inside the hats we're going to put sayings, so that every time I pick a cap and I read it, it's going to be part of the show that he does on Wednesdays called.
Wisdom Cafe.
And he's going to give you a little bit of wisdom to live by. So instead of a sandwich, I'm going to give you a slice of wisdom.
And all our balloons on the set are brought to you by Todo Bello. Todo Bello.
Todo bello.
Todo Bello.
Not Todo bello. What are you from?
Todo
What are you going to Kansas?
First you told me I had to make it into two words,
Todo bello.
but it's really one
3
word.
words. Todo is 1 word.
Bello.
Bello is another word. And
That's
me
not
laughing
3.
is the third. Because you're going to sound, todo bello. Todo
That's
bello.
why you
What are you
just
in a
gotta
rush?
do
You got to
it.
catch a bus? Todo bello.
Todo Bello.
Can't you roll your R's?
No,
You don't pronounce
there's no
it right.
R.
Todo bello.
Bello. It's not an R. It's 2
Es
L's.
como bellón. You know what a bellón is? It's a nickel. Todo bello.
Speaking of nickel, do you see I found a quarter the other day?
And she changes.
up.
This is what she does. Second gear. It's like you driving stick.
I found a quarter on the
Another
floor.
gear.
I think it's a lucky quarter.
It was head up.
Yeah, exactly. So I gave
which
it
is
to
lucky.
you.
Which hand would you pick it up with?
My left, always.
Oh, okay, that's taking their money.
Always.
Todo
Taking
bello.
it.
Check it out. Go to YouTube. Check out The Odd Couple. Do me a favor. If you call in and you tell me about the AC show, it's called the AC show. And what did Felix?
Why
what
is it
did,
called the AC show?
You got to go see it. And if you see what he hit the air conditioner with, I'll give you 2 bags of coffee.
Wow. Wow, you remember those details?
Oh man, I remember all those shows.
We
I remember when I was born.
Good. So does your mother.
Are you sure she does?
So much going on. We have a full Thursday here in the studio. We've got the cafe, then we've got editor's desk. We've got you and your doctor, sponsored by All County. We've got live Laura Sanders, Making Money With, and then we're also live tonight. JC Dreesen hasn't been in a while.
JC singing tonight?
JC singing. I guess Josh is here for the night. You got Laura and JC.
You got to sing.
Got to
sing,
get
sing.
Josh a good lunch. Got to feed him well today because the ladies in the house tonight require his talents.
His talent.
He knows.
You have talent.
He knows what's required. That's why he's got the hat
That
on.
hat looks good on you. It
don't
does,
like
because
it?
you shave, you look like you're 12.
I need my jungle hat.
Where's your
White
dog?
jungle hat.
My big safari jungle hat that I wear on Fridays.
Oh, yeah. So why did you
Yeah.
take it home for? You wore it on the weekends?
Yeah. Can I wear it on the weekdays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring
you
it in
can
then.
wear it here.
Yeah.
You don't wear it out there, but you can wear it here.
No, I'm gonna wear it out there too.
Hey, this is the jungle. Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
Cafe newsletter's going out tomorrow. Speaking of the jungle.
I know she's working hard on that. I tell you, she's kicking butt. See the shirt on this one? That's Shea Stadium over there. Shea. Shea Stadium. You see
We
the
had
shirt?
Shay, we had Shane, and I'm thinking a lot of stuff going
You
on.
wear that shirt, you got me. Because I love New York too. Love it.
Ew.
A lot of good stuff. You got a new
Get
friend,
out of my state.
a new angel, I think, in the studio today.
Yeah, we do. We got a whole lot of you hanging out over there.
Stories to tell, things to do, and it must be the new art brought in by Lola Angelini. I got to tell you, I walked in this morning and turned on the lights, and that purple nebulous, it just lights up the whole place.
You remember that what was the name of that movie where you put your hand in and a mirror and you go to another dimension?
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Okay, but
That wasn't what it is.
yeah,
That's
it
what he
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
know
Nobody
either.
knows
Like
anyway. That's what those things remind me of.
Right? You like step into a whole nother portal. I think our studio's like another portal.
I think you're another portal. She has resin pieces.
Yes.
So I asked her because she put the Brooklyn Cafe, this logo, in a resin piece.
Is she gonna do it?
She says, boy, you never stop thinking, but I like it. So she's going to work it out, see how we can make it happen.
Have we heard any news on what's happening in Fort Lauderdale today? Are they drying out? City drying out, things are opening up?
The airport opened up at 12:30. It just opened, but they
Don't
dried
tell
up.
Baxton.
I tell you, for all my friends that were down in Fort Lauderdale, thank you for all the pictures to show me how you could not get out of your house. Don Pablo called me.
Down in Miami?
He said, Freddie, the whole factory's underwater. I won't be able to make it tomorrow. We got to dry it out. So he'll be in next week.
Wow, it's crazy. I saw a wine bar that posted on Instagram that it was underwater, so I sent it to Chelsea. And apparently Instagram is so quick with their AI, they already came out with a filter. So anything can look flooded now with an Instagram filter.
We should do that in here.
No, we
Let's
don't.
look it.
We do not tempt the gods
me on the
to
boat.
change anything like that.
Put me on a boat.
You just leave.
You could
Well
put a
enough alone.
production in here. You got to raise the electrical, but you could do it.
No, we're all good. We're gonna leave Noah to where Noah belongs.
You know, yesterday I had some other stuff going on in here. You panicked. Today, same difference. Rise, everything. Rise.
No panic.
You
Got a
panic.
couple. Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a commercial break. More to come when we come back. See what's happening with our brew crew. Talk to our new guest. Talk a little bit more about senior strategies. And all I can say is all of Frank A. Ruffolo's books are for sale right here at the cafe, Amp Media Studios. And I'm reading it. He wrote it. He knows what's going on. It's a message from above.
What are you talking about?
Frank's books, the floods, the temperature, the weather. Frank
Wow.
warned us if only people would listen to Frank, which means, you know what, that this
You
weekend
better read his book
when
to
I
get it hit.
when I finish Tres Archangelis, I got to read the next one to see what happens in Xantha Terra. You read
Tres
that one
Archangel.
because Frank seems to know, and it's like Nostradamus.
Nostra Frank.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So more to come.
Nostra Frank. Look, man.
888-994.
Everything's falling apart in here.
God says exactly.
God don't like ugly.
888-994-4995 Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
A successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Are you compromising your medical care for doctors out of your network? Are you tired of dealing with referrals to see a specialist? Are you aware that you can save up to $155 a month on your Medicare premiums? You need an all-in-one benefits company that can help with all of your Medicare plan needs. Call today, All-in-One Benefits Group at 954-614-5488. We're here to find an all-in-one plan for you. 954-614-5488. Call today for open enrollment.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
He looks like the Nutty Professor. He has a future in movies.
That's what our crew does after hours.
G-Man is now going to be called Mod Squad. Remember the Mod Squad?
Might be a little bit before my time.
Wow.
No bet.
Mod Squad. Good. It was a good stuff.
We got a podcast show. You know, our good friend Grace. I can never pronounce her name.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace, we call her.
singer.
She's always out networking, sending people
Always.
here. That's how we
Always.
met Lola. And that's how we met our next guest, Michelle. The Audacity to Be Happy.
Yes.
The Audacity to Be Happy, host of a new podcast that just started, what it's like to actually find your happiness authentically, audaciously. You know what that means?
No.
I think so.
It means she did it.
She did it. That's what it's about, right?
Let's ask her.
All right, let's bring Michelle in. Welcome to the studio.
Hey guys, let me simply tell you, audacity is a word that has kind of changed meaning over time. So when I was younger, if somebody said you had the audacity, it would come out like this. Oh my God, she has the audacity to do that.
True.
And it would mean like, "Puh, what nerve," right? And all of a sudden, in the last year or so, I've been hearing this word audacity, audaciousness. And it really is a positive word now. And it really means that you have the boldness, the confidence, the ability to do things that maybe others can't. So that word really resonated with me because as a child, I was the audacious kid who had the nerve to do things.
I like that.
Which was like frowned upon, but I had a voice very young. Didn't always make me very popular, but what I can tell you is now that audacity has served me in such a profound way that it's given me this beautiful platform of being able to...
Just get your mic closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. It's given me this amazing platform to share my story and the story of others who have had the audacity to be happy amidst the craziest circumstances, chaos, trauma.
Is it fair to say that you were a rebel?
I don't think rebel.
No?
No, more like a trailblazer.
Oh, so you were sparking the future of what you do now?
Yeah, I didn't fight the system for the purpose of fighting, and that's kind of what a rebel does. Trailblazer meant I was a visionary. And like I said, not popular, definitely not everybody's flavor. And many years I wore a chip on my shoulder for it. But in these later stages of life, in your 50 plus, right? You're 50 plus. When you're 50 plus,
You're 50 plus?
I am.
Wow.
We'll talk about why I look like this after all
look
that.
fantastic.
Because that's a story. It's a big story. It's part of the journey, part of the audacity. I just have the ability to share my gift now. I didn't before. I fought the system, and yeah, now it just feels like it's the right thing to do. I feel like I'm living my life on purpose for the first time in 53 years. I feel like I was tumbleweed before that, kind of like going with the flow, trying to have a voice, trying to let everybody like hear my vision. But I was told something recently in the last few years in business. Somebody told me, you're not going to like this. Tone down your New York Italian side. Mm-hmm. I looked at that.
I've been told that all my life.
Oh yeah, but this Brooklyn girl.
I'm not even Italian.
Yeah, this Brooklyn girl did not take kindly to it. It really felt like a slap in the face. I felt like, and I'm not a woman lover. Has nothing to do with that. What I can tell you is, it just felt like no one would say that to a man who was in my position at the time, in a leadership role somewhere. And I was just being strong and confident and capable about what I was doing. But I was told my delivery was too rough for people to hear it.
I know a few people like that.
But I got to tell you, in business, that might have made sense at the time for what I was doing.
All right, so you have to give us some background. You're being very vague. I need to go back to...
Give me some questions.
I need to go back to, why were you a trailblazer when you were younger? And what tumbleweeds were you going through? Right.
All right. So it started when my father passed.
Thank you, Echo.
It started when my father passed at a very young age. My father passed at the age of 43. I was a 14-year-old little girl.
Better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can.
What is going on? Is that echo?
There are higher powers that want me
You're bringing them forward. I
to,
told you.
to either say something important or to shut me up,
Would you
but
like
I'm not
to
going to
feel
let
better?
it shut me up.
And the messages continue. I tell you that when you walk in.
Exactly. I am audacious, and that won't mean anything to me. My dad passed, and it was the beginning of a really difficult journey for me. I battled mental health issues from that moment on, and I probably had signs of that younger, but that really exasperated it. I, on the outside, was a very happy, beautiful little girl who had tons of friends, and inside was suffering terribly. Mental health really got the best of me in my youth. I had moments with suicidal thoughts. I took action on that at one point in my life. So I don't know. I had this fight, though, and I had this inner voice that knew I was meant for more, and that audacity in my life let me keep going forward and seek.
How old were you when you
solution.
acted on those suicidal thoughts?
17.
And what happened? Clearly you're here.
I took pills. I had my stomach pumped.
And you were living home?
I was. My mother was very, very traumatized
So I was
by my
going to say,
father's
and how did your
death.
mom handle all of this?
My mother's passed recently, so very sensitive topic, but I'm going to hold myself together because the message is so important, and my mother's watching me right now and holding me up, and I say she's holding court up there saying, God, all the doors that have been closed for Michelle, open them all right now. She is so ready to share the word and help others, so open the door. But Mom struggled in those first few years. She was a 41-year-old woman who was desperately in love with my father. They had a beautiful life and a beautiful marriage. She really had a hard time managing being a mom during that time. She went to work every day, got up, made sure the bills were paid. But other than that, loving me and caring for me, other than driving me places emotionally, she was completely disconnected. As a child, I didn't understand that. I was in the why me's. I didn't understand my mother's loss until later in life. But I was angry with her. I was really angry. And by 17, it probably hit the culmination of, wow, I'm suffering. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. On the outside, popular, happy cheerleader. Inside, turmoil. Like, just wanted to get off the planet. How do I get off this planet? I don't want to be here without my dad. My family, my father was very high up in the transit authority, part of the union. When he passed, there were 3,000 people, 4 days straight. It was like the mayor died. They carried his casket across the main street in Staten Island, New York, from the funeral parlor to the church. It was like a police procession.
Wow.
And I remember watching it like from above, like I wasn't even in my body. And losing something like that, I know now, looking back, how that must have affected my mom. But for me, you know, this is what it looked like when I came home from school. Nobody would be there. There really wouldn't be a lot of food in the fridge. Not that we didn't have the money for it. You know, money was tight, but there was means for that. It just, there was a disconnect. Our home was the most beautiful family-oriented home before that. Our house was full of love and people and food, and there was always, always company, always. We were that house, and now it was silent and quiet and unsettling for me.
Do you have siblings?
I do have a brother, older. We are the odd couple. I am the outgoing, fun, silly girl with a really, really big heart. And my brother is more conservative. He liked reading comic books. I couldn't read, you know, I wasn't going to read a book. I was going to be out having fun. So we didn't get along either. So those years were tough on that. So yeah, it was just went from everything to nothing in a flash of a camera flash, like poof, gone, right? So let me wrap it up by saying at 17, it was that point where I just didn't see a way out. I didn't think it was gonna ever get better. So I took the pills. Family was around. Part of me must not have wanted to really do it, and I probably wanted to be saved, or else I wouldn't have done it in a setting where I could have been caught doing it. Had my stomach pumped, and, you know, battled these feelings for a very long time, and still to this day, it's hard to say out loud because, you know, part of me says, don't tell the whole story because no one's going to want to be your friend. No one's going to want to do business with you if you're the girl who has suicidal thoughts. I can't hide that. And I think it's shameful that we feel that we can't tell that part of ourselves. You know, when Twitch took his life recently, and for the audience, I hope you know who he is. He was a beacon of light for so many, and for me, something about him always resonated. I was a dancer for many years. Music is in my soul. And when he took his life, that was another reminder of, I am not going back to what I did prior to my mother passing. I am going to be a beacon of light. I'm going to blaze some trails, and I'm going to open the doors and open conversations for people to talk about things that are unsettling but beautiful. A lot of people suffer with this.
After that, you got your life back on track. You
Yep.
got children and businesses, and I guess you were married, or you had a significant other that you had children with.
Yeah. I am fortunate to say that I have birthed 2 children, and I have 2 blessings outside of that, 2 beautiful girls that I've helped raise. So I'm a mother to 4, and now a grandmother to 2.
Wow.
And 1 granddaughter on the way
Oh
this
my gosh.
summer. So yeah, that has been part of the things that keep me going. Is sometimes not about me, it's about others. But now I'm starting to learn it's a good idea to care about my path and my happiness and not just that of others. And that's what's helping me transition into this better space where I can really, really help others.
I was going to ask you, so why now, and why the podcast? Because you could volunteer at your grandkids' school, you could be a preschool librarian. There's a lot of things you could do to be you.
I get that. So first, why now? My mother passed in November. I was the primary caretaker every minute of the day towards that last chapter.
Wow.
So when you talked about the show that's coming up, I actually spoke with them on the way out, and I shared something with them, and I said, listen, when you do what you do, make sure you share the story of how important it is to be educated about hospice and the different alternatives, because I did walk my mother through that home hospice process. That was a very, very integral part of my life, very difficult, but opened every door for me. When I released Mom into heaven, I knew I couldn't go back to life the way it was. I wasn't going to be tumbleweed. I wasn't going to be a robot. And the voice, it was crystal clear. God had been giving me messaging for a long time that I had a voice and I had a message and that I was to share it. I just didn't know how. So you asked how, why the podcast, why now? I was writing a book called The Audacity to Be Happy while my mother was going through this last stage in life. And I was 6 chapters in, and I was suffering through the chapters. It was cathartic in a way, but very painful because I was one of those people who was able to lock it down, hide it, pretend it didn't exist. And everybody who meets me thinks I'm the happiest person they ever met. I'm so outgoing, I'm extroverted, all that stuff. Meanwhile, I'm an extroverted introvert. I love being home. I love just cooking dinner for myself, a significant other. I'm really simple. But what I can tell you is, at this point in life, it was time for me to step into my purpose. And I did so because I felt called upon. This wasn't my ego. This was my purpose. So as I was writing those chapters, it didn't feel like a book. It didn't feel like the message would get out there. I'm better in person. I know that I connect with people. When I talk to someone, it's a real connection. And I'm telling you, all day, every day, I connect with people from Publix, Walmart, gas station, doesn't matter. I connect all day. So I knew I needed to have those conversations face to face. My mannerisms, all of it just read better in a podcast format. And I thought I could get a bigger audience to hear the word. And the part of the podcast that's beautiful it's just not my story. I'm going to tell my story over the time. you know, month by month I'll give another little piece, but I'm telling stories of others who've gone through the most profoundly painful things in their life, and they've come out on the other side so beautifully. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever done. I opened my mouth on the first episode. I flowed for 40 minutes straight, didn't hit pause, I had no script. I had a couple of bullet points, and I said, I was born to do this. I was born to do this. I am now 4 episodes in, and every encounter feels like I was born for it. And I'm supposed to help people tell their stories. And sometimes it's much less of me and more of them, but I have the ability to be a vehicle to ask them the right questions so that they can. The look on their face when we wrap and we hit we're done is like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful thing. I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel like that wasn't for nothing. This trauma wasn't for nothing. It's for others. You get so wise when you're given the opportunity to go through things and rise above it. And that's what's happening.
We had a guest in early this week, I think it was Lisa Dwoskin, who said you have to hit those darkest moments, not just bottom, but the dark of the dark, to actually say, you know what, there is light and I can come through it. But you have to be at that bad breaking point for a lot of people to say, I can't do this for me anymore. I need to find a better way, or there's not going to be me. And you tried that, there's not going to be me. And that didn't work because there needed to be a you, right? You've got 2 girls, you've got potentially 3 granddaughters. There has to be a Michelle Burke on the other side of this to tell the story. But people need to find that dark place, which is so sad to me, that we can't seem to be our audacious selves without finding the darkness first. We can't just be in the light all the time, but without dark, there wouldn't be light, and vice versa.
Well, sometimes we spend a lot of energy suppressing, thinking,
stuffing it down.
Yes.
thinking that somebody else is always going to find us as an outsider, that this isn't the right way of being, that this isn't the right way of acting, not the right things to say. And sometimes you have to wait until something, we talked about this with Arthur yesterday. Why do you wait until something explodes in your face to come to the realization that if you spent less time suppressing it and more time understanding it, because your understanding of it is what helps other people say it's okay to talk about it. It's like that book I'm pretty sure everybody read, you know, It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I don't even know who wrote that, but I remember it was in college. Sometimes you have to look at, there's so much tumbleweed coming your way. You know, it's like I always tell people, if you take a glass and you hold it out like this, it's easy. Try doing it for 3 days. Try doing it for 30 years. Try doing it for a lifetime. I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't easy doing that. We spend too much time suppressing, thinking that it's wrong to have thoughts.
We were conditioned to do that, though. We were conditioned as children to be seen and not heard. My generation,
I remember that.
Clearly, we did not have permission to express that. And I don't want a blanket statement. That's not everybody, but it is culturally, and our demographic, that 70s, 80s kids, 50s, 60s too. We were not really to have a voice. And when you suppress that
women.
stuff.
I think culturally
Yes.
we were supposed to. I think it was different for men. Not now, because I look at our crew of guys.
Yeah.
And the guys here are going through as much as the girls as far as anxiety and finding their
Yes.
voice. But back when you and I were growing up, you were groomed to be the wife, to be the mom. Even if you had a career, you had to do it all.
Both.
And the dads, the husbands, they went to work and they were dads, but it was work first. And after 6 o'clock, when after dinner, then they were dads, or you don't want to bother daddy at work, right? You don't want to make that phone call, even though mom may be at work and mom's at preschool and mom's here. We had to suppress us because it was the only way we could survive, because we had kids to raise, right? And you had spouses' careers to grow. But their generation's different.
My mother and father had 27 siblings between the two of them.
Wow.
27.
Wow.
So when my mother, and my sister's just like my mother, You couldn't tell my mother boo, because my mother's going to put you in your place. And his brothers used to say, because Henry was the oldest brother, and they used to say to my father, you're going to let your wife interfere in this? And my father used to say, really? Ramona, come here. My brother has something to say to you.
Oh boy.
So, you know, I grew up saying, if you got something to say it. So, you know how I'm always telling you, I didn't take the 6th grade, I didn't take the 8th grade. My mother says, maybe you should just go to college.
Yeah.
Because you got something to say. So I never, ever, I don't even understand it. I mean, I hear it, but I don't understand that.
You were blessed.
And so, you know, 19 years ago, my son was playing video games and streaming. And he said to me, the world needs to hear you. Gio said this to me.
Wow.
And here we are. And this is one of the reasons that I tell the kids, because these are all my kids, you got to jump on it and you got to be you. And don't let anybody suppress what you got to say. Good, better, and different.
But you see the guys go through it and hear just as much as the girls. It's the 100% is the same thing. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Everyone's going through the same stuff.
It's gotten worse now because of COVID and all the depression, and you know, it's changed. But and I'm glad you said that about parents, because we can't change those habits. We got to go towards them. We got to get young. I got a 19-year-old. We got to go young, because their kids are the ones that we're hoping to let them understand your kids. I don't want you to be buddies or friends with your kids, but I want you to understand them. And sometimes it's just a look and seeing it. It ain't about hearing it. It's about seeing it. We ran into a little bit of that this morning, right?
Well, why don't we do that on the other side of commercial?
And let's do that on the other side of commercial.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to change your hat, and maybe we're going to play Johnny Melnick's new song.
Let's do that.
See if we can find that. More
Positive,
to come. Positive direction. And we'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audion hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audion hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. That's 800-259-1328.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle con Karen, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show, The Sixth Borough, Meet the Experts, Reinvented Life, Lights in the Night, and The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Away from negativity.
4.
Quickly.
And we're back.
16 seconds.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the IRS. Get your taxes done.
Everyone. I had one of our former show hosts texting me last night at 10 o'clock. They could not find their receipts. Could I get them for them? And I'm like, oh.
Receipts?
Receipts for their shows.
Well,
like,
1 and 1 equals 2. Just add it up.
They couldn't find anything.
They know what they paid. Just add it up.
Couldn't find anything. And I'm like, okay. I know how stressful taxes are, so I went and I found all their receipts for the previous shows and I sent them out. But just keep records, please, because not everyone's going to find your receipts for you.
And we go on the 18th. It's the day, midnight,
Tuesday
right?
the 18th, everything's due. Yep.
Have
Or
we-
to file an extension. You always have that option.
I haven't even sniffed mine. I'm going
That
to do
would
it
be you're
this
taking
weekend.
an extension.
No, I'll do it this weekend.
Really?
There's a mountain of papers. I throw them up. I say, God, tell me which one I should report. And there we go.
You probably do.
I do. Because I sort of know already where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
I just got to look at the bank statements to see what I report, what I put in. And it is what it is.
It's
I'm
a
not
good
going to stress
attitude.
it out.
You got to do what we got to
I'm
do.
not going to stress out. It's
So.
just, I'm too old to be stressing.
All I can say is it's beautiful outside today. I am hoping it stays that way.
Eye of the storm.
We've had more rains in South Florida than I think we get normally during hurricanes.
Eye of the storm. They were saying it's coming back tomorrow.
That's what Teddy said. It's going to
Don't
rain through
blink.
Sunday.
Don't blink.
Maybe
Here
we
it
can
comes.
dry out between now and Sunday a little bit.
It ain't going to dry out. It's going to rain like hell.
Again, the voice of good news from you.
You know, this is what I mean. See, they suppress the realities
I don't want to
of
hear
life.
the negative stuff. So, you know.
No?
No.
You, Mrs. I can't walk in the rain. It drizzles. She can't leave her car.
Walk.
I says, you want me to open this thing up so you can bring your car
Ever
in?
notice when you go to the movie theater, you go and you look good, your hair's good, your clothes are all settled, you leave the movie theater and something happens. It's
Like
like
what?
these secret robots come in and they mess up your hair and you look disheveled. 2.5 hours, you don't move, but yet everything just wilts.
What is wrong
That
with
is what
you?
happened to me
You
here
wilt?
yesterday.
You
I did
wilt?
not go outside, but I wilted. My
Have you ever
hair
heard of
wilted,
anything like that?
My makeup
People wilt?
wilted.
Don't, you're too young. Don't come
We
with that.
wilt in movie theater. Have you never wilted? Well, you don't have any
Oh
hair.
my
to
God!
wilt.
You know when you know how when you go to
Am
the
I
movie.
right though?
He's a boy. Yes, I don't know. It's the air
What
conditioning.
happened?
I don't know
Josh,
what
do
it
you
is.
wilt in the movie theater? No. Do you know what you do when you go to the movie theater? You bring popcorn, and you bring a sandwich, or you buy a sandwich, and then you bring a mixer, because you got to mix some drinks in the back of the movie theater.
Wow.
This is the way you watch a movie. You guys don't do this?
You sneak food in.
No, I tell them. I said, listen, I got a bottle of wine there. No, you got to buy it. Okay, so I won't bring it in. Yeah,
So you
And I
sneak
bring
it
it
in.
in. And no, but Sarah, Linda's daughter, she brings a shaker.
Wow.
So everybody goes, hey, make me one. I says, shh, keep it down on the down low. That's how you watch a movie. You don't care you wrinkle.
So tomorrow, if it's raining and we go to the Beatles movie, we're going to be wilted by the end of the night.
Wilted?
Wilted.
Who are you?
I don't know what
What
happens.
is wrong with you?
But Michelle just gave me the answer. It's the air conditioning. It's like when you go into Disney World, they have these secret air conditionings and things that change. I don't know what happens. You go in, you look good,
What
you
did
leave.
they do to you? Were you dropped on your head? You wilt?
I wilt. Wilt.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Your
my
hair's
makeup's
not
running
full
down my
anymore.
face.
It's
My hair
flat.
is. I left here yesterday in a sweatshirt, over my dress and heels, a sweatshirt and a baseball hat by the time I left here yesterday.
So what?
I didn't leave. How did I wilt inside the studio?
I don't know what wilt means.
seen
You
a
look
flower?
like when you walked in, you walked out.
Have you ever seen a flower just sort of like wilt?
It's like that old saying when a
True.
woman says, I want a glass of water. Back to White Man Can't Jump, the movie. I want a glass of water. Here's a glass of water. That's not what I want. That makes sense to you, doesn't it?
I did love that movie, and I do love that scene.
And does that make sense to you?
I'm a better communicator than that, so no.
Back to communication.
And we're back to that again. I want water here. No, I don't want water. Then why did you say you wanted water?
Well, during commercial break, Michelle was telling me a story. She lost 160 pounds.
I did.
She lost 160
I lost a
pounds.
human.
More than a human.
Where'd
Yeah.
you put the human? Where is it?
I don't know.
How do you feel?
I feel incredibly strong. I feel incredibly healthy. The aesthetic version of what happens after you lose that is just a blessing. But how I feel, The feeling of being able to control something that was out of control is euphoric for me.
How old were you when you got to that point?
I had a second significant trauma in my life. The first trauma was my father's death, and that didn't affect my weight as much. The second trauma in my life was during my marriage. Something significant happened that made me not want to be seen anymore by anybody or anything. So I ate myself into an oblivion. Italians show love with food and cooking. Sure. And I was taught by my Nana and my mom and my dad and my Aunt Rosemary to be a really, really incredible cook. So I just cooked a lot at home and spent a lot of time with the kids and cook. And I ate until I disappeared. I was over 320 pounds. I don't even know what I weighed because the scale only went to 320. I certainly didn't go on the scale often. But the saddest part to that was I lost a decade of there are no photos. There is probably 2 or 3 pictures that I use as my before when I try to inspire others to go on a health and wellness journey. But that's it. There are no pictures with me and my children.
You got memory.
Nope. Ready? We talked about that suppression, right?
Oh, here we go.
Right? I suppressed it into a place that I had no idea it would ever come out. So something that I shared on break is an expression that I think is so important for all of us to understand, and let it become your mantra. It will free you. It's feel it to heal it. A good friend of mine that I met recently who's a trauma coach, her name is Angelina. She wanted my podcast to be called Feel It to Heal It. Or she said, why don't you use that as a tagline? And I'm like, no, I think it's for you. I think you need it. It's in your, and she's like, no, I gave it to you. It's yours. So I don't know what to do with it other than to share it as often as I can, because what I can tell you is that was how I healed. I had to start feeling all of those things I repressed. And about 14 years ago, I decided I no longer wanted to be in that body. I didn't want to be in that mind. There's a long story we'll tell another time maybe about how sick I got from putting that weight on my body. It was life or death. I was given a timeline of when I would expire. I was on an oxygen tank driving a Jazzy and told you might want to go on a last trip with your family, which we did. We went to Disney, and the kids and the ex-husband and the current husband, and we all went together and, you know, sang Kumbaya on Soaring and had that moment. But on Soaring, something in me said, this isn't my exit. I came home, I did what was necessary. I found the specialists. I got a rude awakening on what it would take to get healthy, and I hunkered down and I lost the weight over time. People ask how. It is a lifestyle change. There is no quick fix. There are things that you can use, supplementation, all different programs that you can use, but it's consistent and persistent for the rest of your life. And you have to want to live bad enough, and you have to want to feel healthy and strong bad enough. You have to love yourself. That's a hard thing to do after you felt like you weren't lovable enough to not be hurt so badly. And that's a process. But yeah, all of that. So I lost over 100 early, within like a year and a half. On and off, lost a little bit more, gained more, just kind of stayed in that space. And then about a year and a half ago, I found myself not happy with where I was, knowing in order to really impact others, I needed to do more and really be audacious in my goal and my journey. And I just got a fire in my belly. And I just woke up and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this big and bold. I'm going to do it messy. I'm going to share it. I'm going to be on social media. I didn't care if I had my hair in a pony with no makeup on and sweaty. I was going to post. I was going to inspire others to get walking, move your body, get those endorphins going. I was going to share the resources I learned about. I did a lot of research on supplementation and things that I can use to fuel my body and give me a little bit of an edge. Dawn had asked, why do I look this young, like 53 years old? A lot of it is the supplementation I've been using, but yeah, some good genes. Italians got a little extra moisturizer in our skin. I don't know, but water, best advice I'll ever give you, drink your body weight.
And water.
Half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 160 pounds, 80 ounces minimum a day. And I live by that. I love that. It does something to your skin. It makes you feel great. So being what's that word? Hydrated, sorry. Being hydrated helps everything. Headaches, nausea, everything. So that's a simple free tip for everybody. Drink your water today.
Drink your water. You've been drinking your big water too.
I do. Every day I have to. And it's funny because that picture that I see every day up in the rafters, and don't refuse to put it away. It's like a constant reminder. I used to weigh almost 270 pounds in that picture.
Wow.
And we had a young lady that came into the studio, and she put her hand on my arm, and she said to me, "It's time to go see the doctor." Remember that day? We had the pool table up at iHeart, and I went to Dawn. Okay, what's going on here? And I took a real bad fall. From that perch. It almost killed me.
Yeah.
And I was told I wasn't coming back. And I told him, okay, it was her birthday. And I told him, no, I'm coming back. I told God, I'm going to make a deal, God. You let me come back and I will do your calling. Sometimes you have to wait till a tragedy happens before you listen to truth. That's why I tell you, don't suppress the truth. Live the truth. And that happened, 6 years ago? And then I lost a lot of weight. And my blood sugar got under control, and then Mom and Dad died, and I lost that, and I gained some of it back, and I'm back on that march again.
Good.
But this time I'm going to keep it off permanently. But to do that because of the diabetes, I can't do it just by food. It isn't about the food anymore. It's about the sugar. It's about the intake. It's about learning about listening to my body. We don't want this, and they're going to ask you for all the things you shouldn't have. That's where your body tricks you into thinking, it's okay, I can handle it.
Yeah.
It ain't true. It ain't the way it works. And you got to keep the path. And you got to fight to live, not fight to die. And the bottom line is that was my mantra. That's what I decided. I'm going to do it until I can't do it no more. And then I started talking to my producers and to Dawn and to coaches. And we've interviewed, can I say thousands of people?
Could be.
Over the last 8 years on this whole journey, and I listen to your story, and I listen to the things that bring us here. And all I can say is that everybody is going to have a war story, good, bad, or indifferent. But walk away believing that you're better for it. It's okay to say, I am the best at who I am. And we had this show. I remember I asked 12 people, and everybody says, oh, there's room for improvement. Not in my world. You are the best as you stand today. And we just had this conversation in there. I told one of the kids, I says, can you do this? And she started going, well, maybe, what's the right answer? Can you do this?
Yes,
what's the right answer?
Yes, I can.
What's the right answer? Yes. That's right. Because you don't hesitate. You just do. Because if you hesitate, then there's room for here. And you don't want to have room for here. You want to say yes. You want to do something, do it. Right for you, lady? Do it. And I guarantee you at the end of the road, you're going to say, man, I left it on the table. Because
you got to do it scared. You got to do it messy. You just got to do it. Barbara Corcoran said that. Barbara Corcoran is really wise. I listen to her often, and she's like, if you have an idea and you're passionate about it and you get that feeling, stop overthinking about it. Get up and do it. Do it messy, scared. Let that fear fuel you. And that's something that people don't know. So I say, well, everyone's like, what if you fail? I'm like, it's impossible to fail if I'm telling you I will never give up. So if I'm going to my grave with the audacity to be happy as my brand, as my mission, as my purpose, I'm going to my grave with it. There's zero chance for failure for me.
That's right. You don't take a shot, you don't score. I went to Walt Disney World. I went to a ride, and I called my kids. My sons did not know that I had done up there, that I went. And they said, what do you mean you went? You went without telling us? Yeah, because I didn't want people telling me I can't. Yeah. So I saw this ride, The Mummy. And they know it. And all I could think of was Josh say, you got to ride The Mummy. Universal, not Disney World. Yeah, well, Universal, Disney's all the same blur to me, I could tell you. And I went on. That was the first thing I went. I'm going to tell you, it was the best thing I ever did. So every ride after that was Josh said, do this, do this. See, my kids tell me, Dad, don't do that. Don't do the don'ts. I ain't doing that no more. Because now I'm on this borrowed time that is always the yes. You want to do something, you do it. If we fail, we clean it up and we go again. And we go again. And you go again. Because when you guys have your kids, you want them to do everything, including have no fear to everything. And never, ever look back on what you could have, should have done. Look back and say, I did it, and I did it right. Okay? I mean, we've been at iHeart. We've been on Beasley. We've been in New York. We've been in Atlanta. We've been in Philly. We've been everywhere.
We're even on AI now.
And now we're on AI.
Who knew?
Is that a thing?
So
it's a thing.
It's a thing. And now you're in the house. And the house always brings you to truth. This is why I love this place, because you can't lie to truth. Truth don't lie. You do.
You know, there are times where you always say, don't give away your shine. And I sit back and I wait for you to do it. And then I know there are times I just got to step up and do it.
Got to do it.
And do.
And look at the kids, man.
Oh,
look at the videos they do. Look at where they've come from, how they've grown. There are kids in here, and I'm going to look right at one, just doesn't understand his shine. Doesn't understand the gift that you bring forward.
Shrugs.
As
he shrugs.
As he shrugs. But one day, that shrug is going to be a nod. And from a nod, he's going to be able to say it. And it's just about time. And that's why you're here today.
It's a very special place. I can tell you that. I walked in the door. I was like, what am I feeling?
But you make it special. You add another ingredient to the test tube. Because that's all this house is. And it brings people. And some of the stories we've had in the last few weeks, man, you talk about writing a book, it's all here.
I know. We're going to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, I want to know, Michelle, about your purpose. I know you're doing the podcast, but as everyone says to us, what's my ROI? So I want to know what your purpose is, why you're doing it on a bigger scale, and what your next steps are. So more to come on this sunny Thursday. We'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days. All in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-993-2180. That's 855-993-2180. Again, 855-993-2180.
Come on down to the Brooklyn Cafe and enjoy our delicious 100% Arabica organic coffee. You can also tune into the Brooklyn Cafe show and have the chance to win a free bag. For more information on how to get your own bag, check us out at thebrooklyncafe.tv.
Do you enjoy watching the Brooklyn Cafe show? Well, now you can represent your admiration with our merchandise. We have amazing t-shirts in a variety of sizes for you and your friends. Shop now at brooklyncafe.tv/shop.
Hey Kaylee, what's up?
Hey, nothing, what's up?
Nothing, just looking for music for Grandpa I listen to while we're in the car.
What's wrong with listen to now?
Let's just say we have different tastes, you know?
Why don't you try listen to a podcast on Spotify?
Like which one?
The Brooklyn Cafe Studio one is really good.
Okay, I'll try that one out, thanks.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought. You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. No, I don't know where that's from. Where's that from? Rocky? What was that?
Old Dirty Bastard.
Old Dirty Bastard.
I love music. Sorry.
You sing, do you sing?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
No, in my past life, I was
No. Hold your mic up.
I'm sorry. In a
I
past
heard you
life,
sing.
I was definitely what I believe. I believe I was a black musician. I have R&B in my soul.
I hear you sing soul.
I feel it in my body. I can't even tell you.
What's your best karaoke song?
No, can't.
Don't
Tone
say
deaf.
Get with the can't.
Ready? I'll do it. Everybody will have blood dripping out of
That's
their
okay.
ears. I
We
am
have
tone
Q-tips.
deaf. I don't know. Probably like 80s dance music.
Okay, but give me a
I don't
song.
know. I've never done it because I'm usually mortified.
Okay, give me a song that you like.
I don't know. I'm bad on the spot. Next.
Let's cue something up from the 80s.
Oh no.
And we'll have her sing. Let's do that. I think we should do that.
You could probably do like 80s rap. No. That's
Milli
not.
Vanilli.
Stairway to Heaven.
In the genre of what you were just playing. Like I love that.
Katie, what's the song you sing? Do you know it's tricky?
It's tricky to rock around.
No, it's the Run
It's
DMC
tricky.
song you
That
know.
is it. It's tricky. That is it.
Do you know that
That's
one?
it.
Yeah.
You want to go? You
kinda,
want to
sorta.
do
All right,
it?
so let's
Do you
cue
wanna
it
do
up.
with someone?
Oh,
We'll
goodness
cue it up,
gracious,
and
what's
she can
happening?
You
sing
can do it
it.
with Katie.
What's
Katie, you want to sing it?
Oh Lord,
Yes.
my children!
She's
If my
eating.
children are watching this, just
All right, we're not doing it
turn
now. We're
off
doing
right
it in
now.
10
Do
minutes.
not
In
watch
10
your
minutes, we'll
mother.
cue it up and we'll put
Do
you
not
there.
watch this.
We want to give you a first of.
Wow.
We want to see if you walk the walk.
Wow.
I'm going to
I'll do
call you
whatever.
out.
Listen, I'll do whatever.
That's
I'll
what I
do
want to hear.
whatever.
And there you
I'm
go.
good.
There you go.
I got no ego in this. I'm telling you.
Just enjoy.
I am
So I have
raw.
to ask you before you sing It's Tricky with Katie. Why are you doing, what's your ultimate goal for the podcast? Because
Yeah.
you're investing in yourself. We have
Yeah.
this conversation all the time.
All the time.
You're paying a producer for
Correct.
this podcast. They are not paying you, I'm assuming,
Correct.
right? You're
Correct.
investing in your time and your
Correct.
money and yourself.
Correct.
What do you hope to gain from this?
So
What's your
the-
ROI, as our clients say?
Yeah. So the end game, obviously, you don't make a lot of money from a podcast unless you're really big, and then you get sponsorship. But that's really not the lane I'm going down. I would like to be a motivational speaker internationally. I'd like to speak on all different topics, transformational growth. It could be my wellness journey. It could be walking through the mental health process and how I've been able to do so successfully at this point. I think there's a big audience for that. But the big thing that we've done is I have created a platform for coaching. It's called the Audacity to Be Happy, right? So there's a 90-day coaching system. We haven't launched it yet, but we're working on it. And that is a personal coaching system where I'm going to coach the coaches. They're going to get certified as Audacity to Be Happy coaches, and then they can share the platform that I created. It's actually beautiful. It's something that I use as my personal practice and I've done over years. And it's how I got to where I am right now. And I just think it needs to be duplicated and used more often. And then I also love the space of doing it corporately. Again, I have that business side of me that as much as I want to be fun, silly Michelle, I really am an entrepreneur and I really am a businesswoman first. I don't know why, it's just how I'm built. And I know a lot about corporate culture and building a good environment in the workplace. And I think it's so important. And I have created a one-day system for either the leadership team. Actually, it should be done combined. There is a program for the leadership team, and there's a program for the employees about how to have the audacity to be happy in the workplace, because a happy employee is a productive employee, and a productive employee creates a productive business, and then everybody can do what they do every day and not dread Mondays. I lived in that space for a long time, and I hated that feeling. I hated, they call it the Sunday scaries. I couldn't stand that feeling. It like literally would bring me to that on-off manic feeling. I'm like, oh my God, Sunday, Monday's gonna suck. And I don't want to feel like that. And I don't want anybody to feel like that. So I've really learned, and I did it through leadership training. I've taken a lot of classes. I take time to educate myself and do the research, but I have a way to take all the information that I gather and put it together in a beautiful way that people can receive. Again, there's not a lot of benefits to being older and wiser, but this is certainly one of those moments where being older and experienced and having gone through life and gotten knocked around a lot will give you wisdom that you can share with others. So that's the end game.
It's your journey.
Sylvester Stallone, I posted a piece where he talked about how time is your biggest asset.
Yeah.
Because when you're young and invincible and you surround yourself with stupid people, you turn stupid. And then as you get older and wiser, you begin to realize that time becomes your asset. It's your biggest asset in life because you've filled it with all the wrong things and now you're looking for the right things. And if you're able to take all of that and make it younger, learn it, teach it younger, like you're doing, it gives them an opportunity to have a shot at doing things better. Not doing them right, just doing them better, because there's no such thing in their
Right or
age to
wrong.
do things
Yeah.
right.
On
to do
break,
better.
you had mentioned the amazing interns you have here. And I had shared with Dawn, like, that's my demographic. That's who I want to get the word out to. More than anything is to get to the youth, get to that 18 through 20 somethings and really, really let them know that, you know, whether they choose entrepreneurship or corporate America, that they can create an environment where they are happy about what they're doing and they can enjoy the process. So talking to the youth about it, but then talking to the leadership who's already in place, who has to change the way they're thinking. And there's been a shift for sure. My daughter works for an incredible company with probably the best culture I've seen in corporate America, and it makes her a happy employee. You know, there's a lot of versatility. They care about their employees. They do things like offer $10,000 if you're looking to adopt or if you need in vitro. They give money towards that. They do matching on donations. Like if you're passionate about animals and you want to donate $5,000 yourself and from your family, the company will match it. There's so many beautiful things. They give time off freely. If you're doing your job and doing it well, they don't hold back those days. And I think that's a really important piece. A lot of people really struggle with the part that they get 2 weeks off, maybe 3 if they're lucky. I don't even know companies that offer that anymore. But I think there's a lot of meaning behind that. When you have a happy, loyal employee, they'll give you it all happily. So that's
Well,
the end game for that.
Where you have producers, because they leave the word intern at the door. You're not
Beautiful.
an intern in here no more.
Beautiful.
You're a producer.
I love that.
Interns go somewhere else because
I love that.
we don't care about that. When you have producers that come in and they all have a different background, all of them have different baggages that they were taught to believe in. Bad habits seem to be easier to live and do than good habits. I tell them, leave that all at the door because we got to get rid of baggages. Remember that example that Pastor Bill says you have a suitcase and you go to Alaska and you take that suitcase with you and it's full of warm clothes because it's cold in Alaska. And you take that same suitcase and you bring it to Florida. Do you empty the suitcase or do you take those clothes with you to Florida? And I sat there and that man, I'm gonna tell you, that thing hit home.
Yeah.
It hit home because you're gonna empty the suitcase. Don't tell me you can't, because you can. I don't wanna hear don't, because you do. I don't wanna hear can't, because you can, right? So you have to empty your suitcase and start all over again. Everything that you learn, put it to the side. And then you learn something new. And your skills take over. And you have skills because you learned it in school. They all go to college. They're all graduates. They all have degrees. And you take the better parts of you and you make tomorrow. And we all have, listen, I had dark days. When I first came to Tampa, I don't want to tell you that story. Okay, I lived in a beer can and it was cold. And there was nobody in my circle. There was nobody had my back. I had nobody. I had one man who came up to me and says, I'm going to help you. That's it, in the whole world. And I'm a guy that had thousands of people in New York around me. but didn't mean anything because I didn't know who I was. And I'm going to tell you, tough life is some teacher. Tough life will teach you the hard way quick. Okay, you talk about not eating and things of that nature, I could give you stories. But we all have them.
Yep.
So we move on, and we learn, and we grow. And they teach me something every day. They teach me words. This one is a walking encyclopedia. They teach me things I don't know. But I learn. Because I've learned that's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Stop talking so much and listen and learn. And you've learned. You're not a butterfly. And the cocoon has burst and there's a new you.
Metamorphosis.
And we're all here to drink from your wine of knowledge, as Shakespeare once wrote. Remember that one? And you're going to learn trials and tribulations because life doesn't stop throwing them at you. So be ready and be real. And just be you.
Now it's time to sing. But before we go sing, how do people find your podcast?
Okay, well, we are on all the platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all the places you go for your favorite podcast. So fortunately, my producer knows how to push it out, and I'm grateful for that. I push out on social media. If you want to join us on, I have a community page you can just ask to be part of. It's called the Audacity to Be Happy Community. It is on Facebook. And you can find me on Facebook personally. I don't mind sharing my personal because I think it's really important to know who's leading you, who's sharing their story. And it's Michelle Marrano, Marrano Burke, Burke. And on Instagram, it's Audacity to Be Happy as well.
Very cool.
All right, you want to take a quick break and get set up?
No, let her go with Josh over there. I got something else.
I can't believe I'm about to sing.
Just put that mic down there. And Josh is going to take you over to the corner. We're going to do something over there.
You got plenty of water.
What I want to do. Shea Stadium. Where's Shea Stadium? Shay, come here, Shay. Get that microphone. You go over there. You go over there. Shea Stadium. What number is that? Okay, I want you to hold that microphone. Turn on A1. I want you to come on up here.
Oh, okay.
Sit in my chair.
All right.
And you do the show for the ending from there. You go that way.
Katie, you going to sing with her?
Hello, gang.
She said no. So my new temporary co-host for the moment is
Shay. Hi.
What's your last name?
Oh, Mahoney. Shay Mahoney.
So we met Shay a few weeks ago at a job fair. We were doing one of our local universities, and we've thrown Shay right into everything. You've been here 2 or 3 days in a row?
Yeah. I think this is my 3rd day? No, 4th day. It's my 4th day.
A1.
Oh, you're on stage. Yeah.
They're looking to see where you are. How do you like it so far?
It's weird seeing my face like everywhere. But it's cool. It's really cool.
How do you like being here at the studio?
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, this past week has been insane. When I just
hold your mic closer.
Oh yeah, sorry. The first time I came in, I'm gonna take this out as well because I don't think I need it anymore. I came in last Friday for the first time, and just seeing the moment I walked in, I was like, oh my God, because there's paintings everywhere. I mean, everyone was so sweet and so nice. So yeah, it's been an amazing week, and I'm so happy to be spending the whole summer here and hopefully longer. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be here.
And what's your major? It's not communications like you would think.
I'm actually an environmental science major, which is a little strange.
She
but
talks to the plants.
I do talk to the plants. I do enjoy talking and hugging trees, all that fun stuff. But I am a film minor, so that's kind of why I'm here.
We've got a plant outside that could use some love.
Oh yeah,
I'll
be there.
I want to talk about that with you.
I'll be there.
But are you ready? Are we ready, Josh? All right. And don't end the show yet, because after the song, I promised Braxton that he could finish the show, so I need him to say one more. So,
all right.
So we're gonna go to you.
Take it away. Woo-hoo. And then Braxton will wrap us up afterwards.
picture, dream if you can, a courtyard, an ocean of violets bloom. Animals strike curious poses. They feel the heat between me and you. Just leave me standing alone in a world so cold. Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Touch, if you will, my stomach. Feel how it trembles inside. You got the butterflies all tied up. Don't make me chase. Even doves have pride. How can you just leave me standing alone in a world so cold? Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. I don't know what that was, but I did it. How can you just leave me standing alone in a world so cold? Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. When doves cry. When
There's always a first on the Brooklyn Cafe show. And Shay, you just keep smiling.
I forgot I turned back to us.
What do you think?
It was amazing. Absolutely incredible. Got some very talented people in this office, that's
How's
for
it
sure.
feel?
Yeah, it was surreal. I will say, I got out of my head and it was just fun.
That's all it has to be is fun.
I don't even care what it sounded like. It was fun.
That's
I
all
was
that-
smiling. I felt the smile on my face, and sometimes you just got to get out of your little comfort zone and just be, and who cares what it sounds like. Just enjoy. I love music, so that song's meaningful. I used to do thousands of sit-ups to that song when I was in high school.
Oh, there you go.
I had a crush on a boy, and I wanted to look good, and I would put the long version of the song on and do sit-ups to the whole entire song.
What we used to do for guys.
Oh my goodness, I was literally like 15 years old thinking that's what mattered, whatever.
See?
Yeah,
I
you
see
did.
that.
I can't.
And you had a whole crew behind you. You had Chelsea,
That's
you had
hilarious.
Abraham right behind you.
I loved it.
Well,
So
it has been
fun.
a pleasure having you join us. Before we wrap up today's show, we've got the Pacing Tunnel Singer in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Our very own Baxton Sumner is going to close out today's show, and then he's going to go shoot a movie in Boston. If he
The
can
second
get
flight
there.
was just canceled, so
No.
that's a major maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I blame you for this one.
He's supposed at least.
I blame you for this one, buddy.
But Baxton, at least you just saved yourself $1,500.
I told him I was going to drive him.
Is that offer still on the table?
So our good friend Baxton's supposed to be heading up to Boston to do some movie production. Some more to come
to
with
help
that.
my cousin and uncle shoot a film.
All right, so Baxton, have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. We will see you Friday, 9 a.m. drive time. Baxton, take us out.
No, say don't be late.
Don't be late.
Well, Mama told me when I was young to sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a woman, yeah, you'll fall in love. And don't forget that there's always someone up above. Be a simple kind of man. Oh, be something you love and understand. Better be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for my son if you can? Forget your lust for the rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. Oh no, and you can do this if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied. And be a simple kind of man. And be something you love and understand. Better be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Oh, Lord, oh, no. And don't you worry, you'll find yourself, oh no, follow your heart and nothing else. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied, yeah, oh no. And be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can, oh Lord. Baby, be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can. Baby, be a simple
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.